The Binghamton Black Bears defeated the Danbury Hat by the score of 6-1 to take a 1-0 series lead in the Empire Division semifinal matchup in Binghamton, New York. The Black Bears received goals from Tyson Kirkby, who scored 2 in the game, including 1 on the power play. The Black Bears' remaining goals came off the sticks of Austin Thompson, Colin Fitzgerald, Donald Oliveri's power play goal in the second period, and Chad Lopez scored his 4th goal of the playoffs in the third period. Danbury scored late in the first period from Lucas DeBenedette's tally at the 18-13 mark of the first, while the Black Bears scored the next 5 goals. Brian Wilson saved 32 of 38 shots, while Binghamton's Taylor Joseph saved 27 of 28 shots to win his 3rd straight game in the playoffs. Game 2 is Saturday night in Danbury, with a puck drop scheduled for 7 p.m. from the Danbury Ice Arena. Here is a more in-depth game recap, stats, and thoughts on the 6-1 win over the Danbury Hat. Scratch tonight for the Black Bears: Josh Newberg, Kyle Powell, Andrew Logar, and Brendan Stanko. Austin Thompson scored the first goal of the game at the 1:51 mark. Lopez and Lewis had the assist, putting the Black Bears up 1-0 early. Hat-Tricks then got a power play goal at the 18-13 mark of the first from Lucas DeBenedette. Sheehan and McDonald assisted on the tally. This left the two teams tied at 1 goal apiece going into the first intermission. The first period saw 2 power plays for the Black Bears, who did not capitalize on those chances, but the Hat-Tricks did on one of their man-up advantage. Joseph had 8 saves in the period, while Wilson had to work a little harder and had 16 saves. In the second period, on a set play, Connor Smith set the puck in on Wilson, allowing Colin Fitzgerald, who was trailing behind, and tapped in the rebound to make it a 2-1. Smith and Anderson had the assists. Then 27 seconds later, Tyson Kirkby scored to make it 3-1 as he tapped in a Gavin Yates shot. At the 6:25 mark of the second period, Tobias Outchik boarded JT Walters and received a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Walters was bleeding very badly and left the game. Donald Oliveri scored on the power play for the Black Bears to make it 4-1. The second period ended with the Black Bears now leading 4-1 and saw 2 boarding calls called against the Hat-Tricks and elbowing, and they ended the period with a fight between Matthew Ballard and Zachary Pamalan, where we saw Ballard take his opponent down in 1 punch. In the third period, after a Daniel Ansbury 5-minute major for kneeing Connor Smith, who left the game, Tyson Kirkby scored his 2nd goal of the game to make it 5-1 Black Bears. Chad Lopez then made it 6-1 after a nice pass from Gavin Yates at the 10:56 mark of the third. Danbury will likely be down 2 men tomorrow, as both Tobias Outchik and Daniel Ansbury both received 5-minute majors, one for boarding on JT Walters and then a deliberate kneeing on Connor Smith. Smith was seen at the end of the game just off ice in his full gear. There is no word on JT Walters as of this recording. Danbury played physical and a bit dirty and desperate as the Black Bears' skill and commitment to their game frustrated the Hat-Tricks. 12 Black Bears players got on the score sheet Friday night, with Gavin Yates leading the way with 3 assists. Taylor Joseph is on a streak, a 6-game winning streak at the end of the regular season, and now a 3-game winning streak in the playoffs. That's a 9-game winning streak for Joseph. He has been very impressive. A final thought: Tyson Kirkby came on the Power Play Post Show this last week, and in the first game afterwards scored 2 goals for the Black Bears. Congrats, Tyson. Who wants to be the next one on the show next? It would be nice to say the series will be over tomorrow, but the Black Bears have to go to the hostile home of the Hat-Tricks. The 150 fans from Binghamton going down? Just be safe, guys. I'm Bob Howard. This has been a Power Play Post Show game recap. Game 1 is in the books. On to Danbury for Game 2. Thanks for listening.